Welcome to the DJ the Money Coach Expert Interview Series. I'm Nick, joined as always by DJ the Money Coach, the founder of the 7 Spheres of Money. Hey DJ, how's it going? Hey, you got a different background there.
Great. I'm on vacation, baby.
That's that pom pom lifestyle.
Is real. I keep telling you. And today, the person who knows it's real actually got me started. That's how I'm excited I am, Nick. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. Man, you fired up. You got me fired up. I'm anxious to know who you got here.
Man, this is an OG. This is an OG. This is an OG. My good friend. I mean, this is a guy who taught me the video business and getting out there and talking about my truth and bringing in communication. I mean, literally, we go back 13, maybe 14 years. And he shot literally my first ever video when the shit was extremely expensive. And he was worth every penny plus. And he cut me a lot of slack, straight up, no doubt. So with that said, I want to introduce, this is my good friend, and his name is Charles Little. I call him Chuck. He lets me call him Chuck. And he is a master in video communication. He's a serial entrepreneur, and he is a man's man. So without any further ado, this is my good friend, Charles Little. Chuck, how you doing today, baby?
I'm good, Dale. It's going to be hard to come behind that introduction, dude. I thank you, man. I have tons and tons of respect for you and especially for what you're doing always since the beginning. But today it seems so poignantly special and extra important right now that everyone seems to be looking our way. So, and we have plenty to tell them. So I'm glad you're out there continuing to push that gospel and to share the information that you have with people, one person at a time, because that's how we make real change happen. So I'm very proud of you. Thank you very much for having me on.
Man, yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, Chuck. So how we do this? We just we get into the backstory. You know, I know your backstory, but tell us about your backstory. Tell us how you got into the video world, how you became an editor, and tell us about how you put them amazing parties together. And we come from the same hometown, Nick, and we have gone in a trajectory that's common for us. And it's not the exception to the rule, it's the rule. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's the rule. Mm-hmm. So Chuck, pick us up from there and then tell us how you and I met, and then I'm just gonna go with the flow, because this is a special situation today.
Well, I mean, in what, my first question is, contextually, where is our conversation? Where are we going? Because, unlike some professionals, I happen to kind of have a really diverse background. So sometimes I want to know, like, where are we going here? Are we talking about finances? Are we talking about entertainment? Are we talking about?
We want to talk about your expertise as an editor and how someone a young black male, young black female can do what you do, and show them the template and then show them how to do it as an entrepreneur.
Okay, quickly, my background. Currently, I am a motion picture television editor. I am self-employed. I work in Hollywood. I live in Los Angeles. I moved from Chicago to Los Angeles specifically so that I could more actively pursue a career in motion picture television, motion picture editing, television and films. I landed in TV. It happens to be the place that I like to be. But yeah, you're right. My journey here was very non-conventional. To make a long story short, I am a guy who was an artist. As a kid, I always drew, I always painted. I always had a picture in my head, and then I needed to get the picture in my head into real life, whatever that was, whether that was hooking up 20 radios together, or whether that was cutting something out and pasting it together, or if it was building a tree house or whatever it was. And I guess that natural desire to manifest what my mind's eye sees has been and continues to be the fuel that drives me forward and motivates pretty much any of the decisions and hence actions that I take. When I was younger, I, like a lot of people, I went sideways. You know, I got off into the streets, and I joined the military to save my own life. That put me back on the right track. And after I got out of the military, I used the military to get to Los Angeles. I was stationed here in Long Beach, and that's how I first really got close to Hollywood. And once I got around, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be up in this. And then I went to college for a little bit. And while I was in school, I was studying sound engineering and dance. And sound engineering is how I got into music. And that's how I became a promoter. And the promoter lifestyle was the place, that was the time in my journey where I really kind of learned everything that I know that was the predecessor to my current career. As a promoter, I had to be my own graphic designer. I had to be my own motion graphics editor. I had to be my own video projectionist. I had to be my own accountant. I had to be my own politician, my own leader. I was also a DJ, so I was my own like little marketing press center. I didn't have to be all that for myself because my ego needed it. At the time in the early 90s, there just wasn't anyone else to do that shit. It just didn't exist. And the people that did know how to do it, I could not get their attention. I was lucky enough to meet a few really, really brilliant artists along the way, and they were able to help me. And from them, I also learned a lot. But from graphic design to motion graphics to video design to event production design, that's what really set me on the path toward entertainment. And the turning point for that is my last piece of this long ass story. My turning point for that was, there was a point where I had done pretty much everything that I was probably going to do in the electronic music scene as a nightlife promoter and as an innovator in that world. And I was transitioning out. I was getting a little bit older. I was sick of just being high on drugs and leading the party and being the Pied Piper. And I wanted to do more meaningful work, more lasting work. People in the nightclub, all of the work that I spent months doing, they're high on drugs and alcohol. They're barely paying attention to any of it. And that wasn't enough for me. And the motion graphics led me toward commercials. I wanted to make more money for what I did. I wanted to do something. Then I found out the commercials really have no meaning. They're just for selling shit. I was like, this is no good. And through meeting some of those editors, they were like, you need to be telling real stories. Why are you not pursuing storytelling? And then I took a course in screenwriting, and that's what set me on the path to get to Hollywood. And then, man, I just started banging on the door because I had to start from zero. I started banging on the door, and I got into some reality TV because it was accessible. And then from there, over the last 12 years, I've moved from that into, scripted television. I'm currently working on a show for Fox and Ryan Murphy TV called 911 and 911 Lone Star. And the second season of that will debut this fall. The first season is streaming online now on all the Fox outlets. Stars Rob Lowe and Liv Tyler, and cool. It's cool. And but as you can hear in that long ass story, shit, man, I just been like a lot of brothers. I just been figuring this shit out as I go, really.
So Chuck, man, why didn't you ever quit, man? I mean, you could have been a victim 1,000 times over. What motivated you, and who was the wings underneath your feet that kept you going? Because when we met, man, I didn't even realize that a lot of the parties I used to go back to in the 90s, you actually was the one who was the damn promoter. And I was just flabbergasted by that. Because like you, I used to kick it hard and have a great time. Yeah. And I don't apologize for it because I enjoyed my life. Yeah. And I'm happy where I am. But why didn't you stop? Because here's what I want them young brothers and young sisters to know, that there's no such thing as victimhood. We're victorious in everything we do, because if you take that dream and, like you said, keep knocking on the doors, eventually one's going to open that is going to reward you. So what was it that kept you going, and what was the plan that helped you get to where you are today?
The thing that kept me going, man, was just me. I have no choice. I cannot quit. I have nowhere to fall back to, man. There is no family business to go back into. There's nothing to fall back into. So I have to go forward. Also, I'm very lucky. I have a father. I have aunts and uncles. who have done great things before me, and I cannot look them in the face quitting. I cannot, you know, and I would not. And then along the way too, I touched people, and some of those people that I touched, a lot, not even black folks, white folks, you know, younger, older, they would tell me sometimes, hey man, thank you for what you did. Or, hey man, I've seen you move around. I used to think you were kind of an asshole, but now that I got a chance to meet you today, yo man, you know, thanks for opening the door and sharing all that shit with me. Those little things, they stuck with me. And so in the moments when I was in a meeting and we just did like an event with 12,000 people, I don't know how many six figures just came through the door in ticket sales, and you cut us a check for $6,000 and give me some bullshit settlement fucking document. And I look around the room and realize, oh, this is some gangster shit. Okay. I can't quit. I just gotta get off this field and go play somewhere else. You know
Right.
So I don't know. And when I got to Hollywood, I went through a lot of shit here, man. The answer to your question is I don't let myself quit. I've been in fucking therapy. I've been on the couch. I do a lot of bibliotherapy by myself in my car, listening to podcasts and reading books. I talk to people. I write my own thoughts down and I reread my own thoughts, because I've never experienced rejection as much as I did when I got to Hollywood. Inexplicable rejection. The kind of rejection that will make you think, man, you ain't shit. Really. But you have to tell yourself, that's not true. And you just have to do it again. You just have to.
How did you stay true to yourself without compromising? Because I know cats out in Hollywood, they compromise in the New York Minute to get that dollar, and more importantly, to get that fame. And I know you, to my knowledge, you've never compromised, and that's what I have a high regard for you.
We always compromise a little bit somewhere along the way. We give a little bit. Yes, to your point, you can't give yourself away. There's no reason for you to exist anymore. I mean, if you're a fish, I don't give a fuck how hard you want to be a bird. That's a futile effort. It's never gonna work, bro. You got to be a fish, and sooner or later get your ass back to the water, man, because you fooling yourself. The way I keep it real, you know, what's helped me in the last decade has been my children. You know, since I had kids, I have two daughters of mixed race. Forget me, man. You know, if you can't keep it together for them, you should be shot anyway. But prior to having children, what kept me going? Everything I said before, my belief in myself, and the numerous times someone has believed in me and told me that I have potential, or the times I've touched people. So when this particular person shut the door in my face, that was one time. So I juxtapose that single rejection against the multitudes of accolades that I've earned for myself in the past. Yes, it's true. The number of rejections in Hollywood, it climbed. But I was lucky. I met brothers like Kahil El-Zabar, who's a jazz musician from Chicago, and he introduced me to a wonderful writer-director named Dwayne Johnson Cochran, who's here in Los Angeles. And that man has been in, you know, the film industry a lot longer than I, and he was able to tell me stories that let me know, all right, Charles, shut the fuck up and keep it moving, you know. I have an aunt who was a quite famous jazz singer. She's now passed on. Her name is Abby Lincoln. And I used to spend time with her in New York. And I asked her some questions, and she gave me some hard answers that were, in a nutshell, shut up and man up, boy, you know, was basically all that was. And I replay those. And then all of the other podcasts, all the other brothers like yourself that are out there doing shit, you know, I hear a Dale Duransburg voice telling me, man, Chuck, that fool don't know you. Fuck him. I hear that in my head. Even if Dale has never said that to me, it's my own subconscious utilizing what I know of Dale, and it's making up its own words. You do what you got to do, man, to keep it moving. And you just keep it moving, you know? That's it.
Man, and that, you know what, that's powerful, Chuck, because I remember, man, when you told me, hey, Dale, you can do this, man. You can be on the same platform with these cats out here. And I was like, really? I mean, I had confidence, but you elevated me to another level. And just having one person say, I believe in you, it made me continue to move forward and go through all the bullshit that I had to go through just to get where I am today.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, why don't brothers do that with other brothers? I know why they don't. It's kind of like a rhetorical question, but it's almost like we think we're competing against each other, but we're not. Because there's always room at the top of the mountain. It's unlimited room at the top of the mountain. So
I mean,
why?
you know, it depends. From my experience, it's really different from one culture to the next, one city to the next. You know, like I have a 25-year-old nephew, man. I brought him out west, and I had him on a mountain, you know, jogging up the side of the mountain. And a lot of other people go to that mountain and run and walk up the mountain. Every time like a black group would pass, they would nod me and we would nod each other, or, you know, something. And then finally my nephew was like, man, do you know them? And I just looked at him because, you know, I don't know them. But I said, no, man, I don't know them. But we all here doing the same thing. We're trying to make it. What is you doing? But he comes from Chicago, man, where a lot of brothers in Chicago sometimes they down on each other, man, you know? So I don't know. We're doing a lot better with that, though. We're doing a lot better with that. But yeah, you're right. I think people in general need to like uplift one another and just pass each other the damn ball. But black folks especially, because, you know, when they started the race, they tied our ankles together, man. They got a long ass head start, man. You know
Absolutely. What's the template? Because you're special, but you're not special. You know what I'm saying? There's a template for the success that both you and I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I came from, at one time, a single, you know, parent home, and I persevered. And I think like-minded people attract each other to each other. It's like they call the law of the lid and the law of attraction. John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And when you and I first met, it was like we just clicked. And even though we met through, you know, your cousin, who was my friend, who I've been knowing since I was 15.
That's a good connection. Clarence. That's a good connection. That's like family introduced. That's real close. Continue.
Right. But the thing was, it was almost like Clarence was reluctant to introduce me. I was like, I need somebody to shoot some damn video for us. And we going out here to LA. He was, oh, I got a cousin that does that. Well, damn, I've been knowing you for 10 years, and we already were in Detroit and we were in Boston. Why you didn't tell me about him? And then I meet you, I'm like, damn, this dude is fire.
Yeah,
so
for real.
What's the template for people to know that this is no exception to the rule? Because I believe if you got a dream, you got a goal, and you get these two dirty little words mastered, accountability and discipline, you can accomplish anything in life.
I'm gonna give you
Tell me about the template.
Give you the third word, brother. The third word is a fucking big word. It starts with an M, and the word is mentorship.
Boom!
This is what we lack. What I do not have, and whatever I've done, I've had to do alone. I had no mentorship. There is nobody that already went into that cave. So there's no one to tell me, hey, when you pass the third stone, don't turn right, turn left. I have to figure it out. And sometimes the way you figure that shit out is by not making it, you know? So mentorship. And the other secret for me was I had a real father, man. Like my father, even though my parents were divorced and he was out of the house, I was very fortunate that my old man knew how to stay in touch with me, and he knew how to show me what manhood is, you know, that it's flawed, it ain't pretty, it ain't perfect, but it's what you said. It's accountability and it's authenticity. Whatever the fuck he's doing, you gotta own it, you know? I don't give a shit about him over there. What was your part? What part did you play in it, you know? And so I say that that's the main thing, you know, for a lot of us young brothers and sisters who grow up in a single parent home, if we don't have fathers, then we need to be reaching out to our uncles. We need to be kicking it with our best friend's dad. That the lack of a man in the house, it's a big deal, you know, and nothing against our sisters because they're wearing both hats and they're doing it well. Well, I don't give a shit no matter what you do. You're just not a man, you know?
Hello. Can't no woman raise no man to be a boy to be a man. I'm sorry. I ain't about that
you know
PC.
what? I give them a lot of credit because they do the best they fucking can. What the hell can they do? The dudes is motherfuckers is they ain't shit, you know, they gone. But you're right, man. No matter what, man, there's just some things. Your dad can put you in a car and not even speak, just drive. He don't have to say a word. You get out of the car and you learned a whole bunch of shit. He ain't said nothing to you. Nothing. He just looks at you, looks.
That look.
You know what the fuck is going on, man? You looking at him, and the shit just going in your mind. You know. You get out of the car, and he's like, yo, I'll see you next week. And you're like, thanks, Dad. Y'all niggas ain't said nothing.
But he said a lot. He said a lot in that silence.
Everything. So, you know, and then the next thing is that mentorship shit, man. I'm in Hollywood. I'm a part of the IATSE union, the Motion Picture Editors Guild, but I'm also a part of the Diversity Committee and the African American Steering Committee because I know there's a bunch of kids in school. They want to get into music. They want to get into sports. They want to get into film and TV. It's getting better, but a lot of them don't even know what editing is. They don't know about cinematography and the trajectory and the path. They don't even know. I would love to and so it's important for me to be able to share that kind of information and knowledge and mentorship. So mentorship that's the other word that I want to add to.
You know what? I take that for granted. Right now, I'm out here on vacation, and you know what? I'm with my partner. His son just graduated from high school. My son just graduated from high school. My youngest son graduated from 8th grade, and we're all together on a guys trip doing together dads and sons.
Yep.
For the whole week.
Yep.
And I just assume because growing up in a broken neighborhood and I never had a father in my life, but I had a father, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I made it a point that if I ever got married, had kids, I was gonna be there 24/7, 365, rain, sleet, snow, or hail. I'm gonna be there.
The baddest thing on this whole planet is a black man. I'm telling you.
Ain't that the truth?
Everybody on the planet is afraid of a motherfucking black man. It's the most powerful source. It's the source, man. And we don't even have to talk. Just sitting next to a black man, you're like, damn, this is shit. This is why they be trying to have sex with him and shit. Shit is crazy, man. So I tell people all the time. I tell them, you know, because right now I'm getting a lot of, you know, conversation from a lot of my non-black friends, and they're authentically asking me, yo, Charles, I know I can speak to you. Like, how do I talk to you about these things? What do I do? Where do I go? Like, man, it's just time for you right now to just listen. And there's really nothing that you can say. Just don't say anything. And they're like, I know it's so difficult. It's been so hard. And I'm like, look, man, I'm black. It's like having superpowers, to be honest with you. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes, like having superpowers. It's like being a superhero. Anyways, listen, you just need to listen right now and just be cool. But that superpower line, they always leave like, well, that was interesting. You know, but that is what it's like, man. It's like I feel like a superhero, man. Like I feel like I have superpowers. I mean, I do have some kryptonite, and there are things that can bring us down, but we're black men, so it's like I would be afraid of us too if I wasn't a black man. Shit.
Man, that's real. That's real. Hey, Chuck, man, I ain't gonna take up much more of your time, but I want to be able to bring you back on the platform. It's been a long time, but man, Nick, I wanted you to chime in. What are you learning from what you just heard from this real black man about life and about just intestinal fortitude? What did you learn?
Man, I'm learning that you can't give up. You have to use all the tools that you have at your disposal. You know, do what you have to do and keep it moving. I also learned that it's not just 2 dirty words, but it's 3 dirty words. It's discipline, it's accountability, and it's mentorship. You know, and there's enough room for all of us at the top. You know, so there's no need to be crabs in the barrel. We can lift that as we pull. There's room for all of us.
Man, that's powerful. And see, Chuck, Nick is a young high school teacher. I take my hat off to Nick all the time. It's very rarely do you see a black man teaching in high school ever. Because one, the pay sucks. Two, there's all this bullshit that you got to put up with, that this political correctness, that if he even acts like a real black man, they're going to give him the Heisman or try to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Because they know if he enforces that power of discipline, accountability, and mentorship, all this negative that the video and the entertainment world sends out about us, that's a false narrative, that shit will be silenced.
Yeah, that's why he has to do it in private, one-on-one with those brothers. You pull them to the side, off the field, away from the lights, and then you give them the magic. And then you go back out onto the field, and then you play the role. That's going to change. We're trying to change that. You know, the way it used to go before we were around, they used to have to run way out into the woods in the middle of the night in order to share some knowledge. Because white folks catch them sharing knowledge, they'll cut them in half, kill them. They'll kill them. They weren't playing.
Oh, man.
Now we can just walk off to the side, but we're coming into the light, man. So the other thing too, you know, Brother Nick, fuck the top. Fuck the top, man. It's not about the top. It's about right where you at right now, enjoying the shit out of it. This room right now to lay that blanket out. Lay that blanket, have a fucking picnic, pop that umbrella up, take the sun in. Fuck trying to climb to the top, man. Let them crazy motherfuckers go up there. They can go all the top shit, all that race to the top, that carrot.
Right.
You don't need that shit, man. It's you could do just fine making $200,000, $150,000 a year. You don't have to have $2 million a year, man.
Hey, Nick, what I talk about? I talk about the pom-pom lifestyle. Be consumer debt free, make $8,333 a month, and you can live like a millionaire and travel around the world.
I'm still trying to get where Dale is with that consumer debt free shit. I'm still trying. But we making it though, little by little by little by little. We stepping there.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get there. We all gonna get there, yeah.
Hey man,
not without trying though.
Hey, you guys come here for a second. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna let everybody see. It's my cousin, my brother, Rob, served in the military too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how you see that? Boy, that'd be scaring them.
Introduce yourself.
What's good? What's good, people?
What's up, young brother?
This is Charles.
Christian,
What up, Christian?
nice to meet you.
This is my guy that shoots all my videos. This is live. So this he's coming to see you. He's the editor. He's doing editing.
Oh, really?
Hey,
Come here.
Hey, you brothers been doing a great job. Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, sir.
What's up,
Tell
brother?
him your name.
Rodney. Rodney Durant.
Good to meet you, Roddy.
Hey, Charles, 16 years of age, scholarship to Texas University, just graduated.
I'm not surprised. He got that real man magic going on. Congratulations. Yeah, man. Good.
We're gonna wrap this up. 30 seconds. Hey, Charles, tell us where we can reach you at. Give it to us twice. Give it to us slowly, so we can have people get in touch with you. And if there's availability for a young black man, a young black woman to reach out and do what you do, let them know how they can get in touch with you, brother.
It's very easy. My name is Charles Little II, and so you can just Google search Charles Little II or Charles Little #2. On all social media, I'm just Charles Little the #2. So at Charles Little 2, I'm charleslittle2.com. I'm Charles Little 2 on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever else I'm at. But it's always Charles Little 2, or you can type Charles Little Editor. But I have a website and stuff, and I'm all over social media, and you are correct. I'm always down to collaborate, and I'm always down to share, and I'm always down to take in other people's art. I love being inspired by things that other people do, so looking forward to that.
Man, that's phenomenal. So, hey, Nick, give me your parting shots. Give me 10 seconds. I know you told me what you learned, but give us a parting shot for them students out there who just heard from the master in the studio.
Hey, you may be in a dismal or hopeless situation, but you can get out of it. It takes persistence. You have to keep going. Don't complain. Don't cry. Just do what you need to do and keep it pushing.
Well, wait.
That's right.
Wait. Now, how do you employ the mentorship? Because you can't always go on your own.
Right.
Remember that, that sometimes you got to know when to reach out for a little help or ask somebody. Don't always go by yourself.
There you go.
Remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That mentorship.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, with that said, as always, my parting shots are real simple. One, your network is direct correlation to your net worth, because right now in this world, we can get equity and ownership. Forget about fair, because there ain't no such thing as fair. Fair is where pigs get slaughtered and you win prizes. Right now, it's about equity and ownership. And the only way to get that is have accessibility and have people, like Charles said, to mentor you apprenticeship programs. And at the end of the day, when you do it, both of us are proud to be, Black men in America, and we're proud to be where we are because we work through the process and we practice the 4 Ps: professionalism, persistence, perseverance, and we produce because we men of our word. And at the end of the day, I want you to have a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And I want you to come join us on the beaches of the world, baby. It's DJ the Money Coach. I'm out of here. Peace.
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 That's love, baby.